Hello and welcome back to the Deep Topics podcast. This is Shaun and welcome to Ep.5 of Season 2 of the podcast. And if you're new to the podcast and you'd like to listen to more of the podcast and you'd like to see more of me, please consider clicking the subscribe button, whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this on Spotify, so that you can receive notifications for future upcoming episodes. Also consider leaving a like if you enjoyed this episode and leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought of anything that I shared in this week's episode of the podcast. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Or share your perspective? Put your comment down below and let's have a conversation about that. And just a reminder that my student debt fundraising campaign is live. And if you'd like to contribute to my student debt fundraising campaign, feel free to click the link in the podcast description down below and access my Back a Buddy campaign, where I'm seeking 1,000 donors to contribute just $150 to help me reach my campaign goal, pay off my student debt, achieve my freedom, and reclaim my future. In addition to that link, you can also purchase my art, you can purchase my book, Solo Journeys, and a bunch of other links that are related to the work that I'm doing. So if you want to contribute and support my journey, feel free to click the links down below and access any one of those to contribute to my journey. So in today's episode, I want to talk about, as usual, the goings on from the past week. And first, an update. I posted a recent TikTok video where I shared a solo journey about going on a job interview. And this job interview was for a top company and analyst role at which I interviewed. So I did that interview at a hotel because I thought that, maximizing the possibility and likelihood of success would be very much ideal for that interview because it's a very competitive and desirable job. So I went to the Vineyard Hotel and I did that interview, and it was a 30-minute interview with the hiring manager. And I thought the interview went well. The interview did go well. And so at the end of that interview, I continued about my day. The following Monday, I sent an email to the hiring manager thanking them for the interview. And this being the following Friday, sent an email to the HR recruiter asking them for an update on whether I'd be proceeding to the next round. So she gave me a call and she let me know that I didn't get that. I was not going to be proceeding. And, I'm in this space where honestly I was unshaken, even though I did care about that opportunity. I now have this attitude towards life about what is for me and what is not for me is not for me. So not getting that job is not really heartbreaking. It's not disappointing. It is not sad. It is a missed opportunity, but it was kind of never meant to be. And if I am not somebody that that person is looking for, then I'm totally comfortable with that. And I'm totally comfortable with that there may be other people that are better than me, perhaps offering something that I'm not, perhaps being more in line with the requirements, perhaps being more in line with the culture, perhaps speaking a language that I'm not speaking, delivering things that I'm not. And so I have the humility now to be able to accept that there are people in the world that are better than me at certain things. And that does not mean that I'm not good enough. Does not mean that I didn't deserve it. That does not mean that it wasn't for me. It just means that just like how I have preferences, so too can others have preferences, and that is totally okay. So it just so happens also that that was the final opportunity that I told myself I was going to apply for in Cape Town before I would start doing like heavy applications for Joburg opportunities. And in addition to that, I'm in a space where I gave notice for the current living situation in Kenilworth, and I'm expecting to be moving out of there by the end of February. So I'm kind of opening up the possibility of what might a Joburg lifestyle be looking like, and what might me working a job in Joburg could be looking like. What could that be looking like? Furthermore, I should be reaching 6,000 followers on TikTok sometime today. And I'm going to post. I haven't posted on TikTok today, but I will be posting after I record this podcast. So when I post that video, I expect to have surpassed 6,000 followers, and that is from the 21st of November to the 21st. That's almost 60 days. Almost 60 days. Let's almost 60 days of creating content on TikTok got me to 6,000 followers. So I'm now foreseeing that Shaun, being a content creator, being a positive, influential individual on social media, but not just on social media, gl- globally, because that type of positive influence translates to the real world. There are people that say hi to me in the real world. There are people that recognize me. There are people that tell me that I'm inspiring to them, that I'm uplifting to them, that I'm motivating to them. And that tells me that I am having a positive and uplifting impact in the lives of others. So there's now a dual path unfolding, the dual path of, on the one hand, being a content creator and seeing the types of opportunities, freedom, access, adventure, and so on that comes with being a significantly positively influential person on social media and also in real life. There's also this other opportunity of what might it be like to possibly contribute some of these high value skills that I do have in terms of analysis, marketing, operations, and so on, that perhaps not in Cape Town, but maybe in Joburg. What might it be like if I embrace comfort, convenience, wealth, opportunity, luxury, and so on, but doing so in a city that might be a bit more hustle inclined, a bit less laid back than Cape Town, but fully knowing that if I ever wanted to return here, I could at any time. So when I got that call today letting me know that I wouldn't be proceeding to the next round of that interview, it wasn't at all disheartening. It wasn't at all disappointing. It wasn't at all saddening. It wasn't at all saddening because I have cultivated a level of this attitude of imperturbability. And when I was doing meditation coaching, I was speaking about imperturbability, meaning unable to be shaken. And one thing, I keep saying one thing, many phrases to remove from my vocabulary. You know what? One thing I wish, many phrases to be removing from my vocabulary. One thing to be recognizing about imperturbability is that the spiritual text and actually my spiritual journey, becoming more spiritually aware, is now showing me that the events of physical reality are real and existing only on this level, and at a higher level are not real and are not existing. So having that, a bit of a glimpse of that understanding allows me to see that if the events of physical reality are always in a state of change, and the events of physical reality are always in a state of change, flux, development, unfolding, never really having a grasp on an outcome. You know, as humans, we believe that we have control over certain situations. We falsely believe, we attribute a level of risk, a level of probability, a level of possibility, a level of safety, security, and likelihood, and we believe that we have certainty over things. But really, we don't. And so, as I continue to see that my job here as a human in physical reality is, yes, to be focusing on my spiritual development, the unfolding of reality, the unfolding of my potentials, the becoming of who I am, more and more becoming of who I'm meant to be, but never really being fixed on any ideas, fixed on any outcomes, fixed on any circumstances. It brings me a level of peace. It brings me a level of peace, and it brings me a level of navigation, kind of like a surfer on a wave. You never know how that wave is going to go, but you know how you must maneuver and adjust your body to be able to make the most of every wave. And so, me maneuvering and adjusting my body to make the most of this wave tells me that, okay, this analyst role didn't work out, and I really kind of don't feel anything about it. Okay, let's surf now. I said that if this one doesn't work out, I was not going to apply to any more Cape Town jobs. I was now going to go full in on Joburg analyst roles. Okay, let's go there. Let's go there and let's seek six-figure annual income. Let's seek six-figure annual income with Joburg analyst role, because I now know knowing your value and trusting in yourself. Okay, cool. Going all in on content creation. This that was one. That was number one. Going all in on Joburg analyst role. Number two, going all in on content creation simultaneously tells me that continue to do what I'm doing, continue to apply the learnings, continue to take the feedback from analyzing the demographic results, the 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 performance results of the videos that I've been posting, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, doing more of what works, doing less of what doesn't work, and in that way continuing to iterate, continuing to move forward in the right direction, continuing to make progress and to grow on this platform that I'm now seeing is being very much impactful and contributing to my journey and the life that I wanted to create for myself. Just as a brief intermission, what you just saw there, I'm doing unblocking of the heart chakra, and you will see as you continue on your spiritual journey that unblocking, removing blockages, clearing the chakras sometimes involves physical mechanisms as well. Because if the physical is connected to the spiritual through the mental, then by maneuvering the physical, you are maneuvering the spiritual. Similarly, by maneuvering the spiritual, you can be maneuvering the mental and the physical. And the spiritual in 2025 is consciousness. Okay, back to what we were talking about. So, to summarize the whole career, income, opportunity, adventure, travel trajectory, what I'm getting, the point that I can summarize from what I've just shared is that I received the rejection today for that analyst role. That, when I apply for a job, I focus specifically on that job. I received the rejection today, but it didn't really affect me. It didn't affect me because I I am developing imperturbability, which means that the events of physical reality are never really under my control. And to have feelings about them creates a level of attachment on things that I never really had control over. So to mourn the events of physical reality is really like a delusion. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, lament neither the living nor the dead. And that's an overall lesson about life and death, but more so an overall lesson about the events of physical reality. So, in it, so after receiving that rejection, I did tell myself, always scenario planning, knowing that if if A doesn't work out, then this is A1 and A2 that will follow after A. So A1 says now, okay, go all in with Joburg analyst applications. Cool. That's what I'll be doing from this point going onwards. Maybe also add in some marketing there, since my side hustle, becoming my main hustle, will be being an influential person in society through TikTok. Simultaneously, I'm seeing that today I will reach 6,000 followers on TikTok after more than 60 days of consistent creation. And knowing that that level of followers has had people say hi to me in real life, even people living in towns outside of great town, randomly me stepping into various spaces and people tell me they watch my videos is telling me that 6,000 is a significant and influential number, and that I should not underestimate just how much 6,000 means and what it means. So going all in on TikTok as I've usually been, I've now started to understand that I can incorporate the two if need be. If I did take full time work in any type of setting, that I would be able to still upload 3 TikTok videos a day. I still would be able to respond to comments, do the content pillars of TikTok, um, continue to grow my platform and build that up to the level of 1 million followers, in addition to building up whatever type of full-time career I do. And perhaps maybe that 1 million followers will then replace that, and I will truly have the full financial freedom, access, travel opportunity that I am seeking. And so that's where I think I will be pausing for now on how income opportunities are unfolding at the moment. Going forward from today, maybe this evening, I expect to do like a 3 hour meditation this evening. So maybe tomorrow I will be um, starting with the applications on job work opportunities, and I'll also be celebrating my 6,000 followers and continuing to deliver more of what that platform means to me. And what that platform means to me is that this links to something else that has been coming up lately, which is that sometimes people have been telling me on TikTok that um, I don't even know if these are followers or not followers. Like, this video disappointed me. Um, this video is not what I was expecting. And I continue to be reminded that there are individuals that will share their opinions on what they want, but they do not recognize that I created my TikTok platform for me and what I want. It is my outlet for creative expression. I will say whatever I want on there, fully recognizing that that needs to be in line with community guidelines. But TikTok for me is my platform of self expression. I'll post what I want to post. I'm glad and grateful that it can resonate with you, but it is my art. It is my blank canvas. It is my journey. It is my adventure. It is my creativity. It is what I want to give the world, and it is what I care about and what I feel is necessary and right and relevant for me and my life and my journey. So at no point am I ever thinking, um, I really am concerned about what this person wants. I better make a video for that. No, I'm not thinking about that. There are people out there that will make videos for you and will give you what you want. But for me, it's my platform of self expression, my platform of authenticity, my platform of my personal and creative journey. And it is what I want to deliver. It is what I want to create. It is what I want to manifest. It is what I want to put out there. It is the story I want to tell. It is what I want to document. And I think what I have been seeing over this past time is that when I Google Shaun Mahabir, and I now know that Google might be fading in its relevance with the AI search engines coming up. Who knows what will happen there? But when I Google myself for the time being, I am seeing what coming up. I am seeing my social medias. I'm seeing TikTok coming up, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Deep Topics podcast. I'm seeing articles written about me by UCT for exhibits that I created in Res for Res. I'm seeing articles written about me for that time that I worked at McDonald's and I spoke about my experience. I am seeing a narrative about me that I myself have contributed greatly towards, and in that way, I am writing the narrative that future generations, 4,000 years down the line, 12,000 years down the line, when they read the radio waves, they will see a narrative that I have self written about me, as opposed to a narrative that has been written about me by others. So that is very important to me. To be, to stop, actually, I was a consumer at some point. I am now becoming a creator. So to have moved from a consumer to creator is a very in the beginning, challenging decision to make, because there's often this anxiety of what will people say. But I have come to dissipate that anxiety, knowing that it's a mental cage and a mental construct that is meant to stop someone from self-expressing and from becoming, from embracing their full, authentic, true creative expression and unfolding in the world. So as I continue to put out more and more content on who I am, what I want to say, what I want to create, my journey, my story, without any fear, without any consideration with what this person say, what will this person say, to truly, rawly, courageously, and vulnerably tell my story, I know from the type of impact that I've been making, from the type of content that I've been seeing, from the type of comments that I've been seeing on my social media, that is very, very important for me to do. And it is a great and significant step in my journey to be able to put out content telling my story and to be able to truly impact people in the way that I never really considered could make a difference. But I'm now seeing is not just making a difference, but is making a profound and significant difference. It is shifting physical reality, it is shifting society in a way that I never would have expected, but did see other people do. Never thought it could be for me. Kind of deep down inside, felt the longing for it, saw the seeds blooming for it, observed people that have done it, and in that way collected the pieces, and in some point started to put the pieces together, and in some way started to gather the courage to build and to create. And I'm now seeing that I am writing my narrative in this society and in the radio waves. And so whether you're tapping into the internet, or you're tapping into the radio waves, or you're tapping into whatever type, you're tapping into consciousness, you can now see that my putting out there, my creation, is now more than my consumption. And in that way I am helping to shape how I want to be seen in the world. And I hope that I can encourage you to do the same for yourself. Let me pause there for a second and let you know that I'm currently fundraising for my student debt campaign, and I'm seeking 1,000 donors to contribute just 150 Rand. So if you want to be one of those 1,000 donors, I need 997 more. If you want to be one of those 1,000 donors, if you have the kindness and generosity, the budget, and the willingness to support a cause to help me break free from my student debt, if you believe in me, if you believe in my future, if you want to help relieve this burden, if you want to help me pay off this debt, if you want to help me achieve my freedom, reclaim my future, click the link down below. It's a Back a Buddy campaign. You can contribute to card, EFT, you can contribute through SnapScan, and you can also send me a message letting me know that you contributed. It will make a huge and profound, significant difference for you to contribute. I'm just seeking a minimum contribution of 150. If you want to contribute more, you're fully open to doing so. And I'm very much grateful for any type of contribution you can make. It's valued and appreciated, and I appreciate your support. So thank you for that. If you want to purchase my book, if you want to purchase my art, and you want to contribute to my journey in that way, then feel free to click down below. You can purchase my book, Solo Journeys. My book, Solo Journeys, will help you break out of the routine and monotonous nature of your life by introducing you to the art of taking risk, embracing wonder, embracing spontaneity, and embracing the art of the solo journey. Click the link down below and purchase my book, Solo Journeys. If you want to purchase my art, whether those are physical, original drawings in A3 or digital prints, you can click down below and purchase those, framed or unframed. I'll truly appreciate your support. And all of my links are available down below if you want to contribute to my journey. So thank you so much for your support, and I truly appreciate you supporting me in my journey. Okay, so in addition to me writing my narrative, I posted over the past week the student debt fundraiser campaign that I just spoke about. And I got a lot of comments about, like, why aren't you getting a job, and you're asking people to pay for you, and shame, and it's hard for so many people out there, and so many people are suffering, and so many people are struggling. And I continue to see more and more of the scarcity poverty mindset that I myself grew up with. but at some point progressed from in my life. But a lot of the people who started following me from the McDonald's days might have got the wrong idea about who I am based on that content that they saw at the time. And so they might have got this wrong idea that I too have poverty and scarcity mindset. And that's the type of mindset that I have, but actually I don't. And one thing that you might have seen throughout this entire time is that even though I have been at times financially challenged, financially constrained, that I never really describe myself as struggling. I never really describe myself as battling, because I know that I have been able to ascend and progress in my life continuously over and over and over, achieve my hopes, my goals, and my dreams, because I continue to have the mindset of abundance, wealth, prosperity, luxury, comfort, and so on. And when you see the type of situations that I live in, at the moment you see that I'm living in the dungeon, you might get the wrong idea of thinking that I accepted that because I have low standards for my life. You might be thinking, I accepted that because I have broke mindset, poverty mindset, scarcity mindset. But when you watch the video of where I spoke about where I did the room tour and I spoke about why I chose that, I told you specifically that I chose that room because it fit my budget. It allowed me to live in the southern suburbs. It gave me dark silence, space to do my meditation, to deepen my spiritual awareness. And it gave me a level of isolation that I needed for that autumn season of my life. So when you practice, I learned about this in 2019, essentialism, which is kind of a take on minimalism, which is that you understand what are truly the essential values in your life and you craft a life around those essential values. To another person might look like something, but to you it looks like what you know it means something to you. So me in my life knowing that I have this space that is facilitating my spiritual journey, my spiritual development, is giving me darkness, silence, isolation, all of those things. It is fitting within my budget. I have limited possessions intentionally. Intentionally, I have limited possession. I own things that matter to me. I own things that mean a lot to me. I own things that contribute greatly in terms of value to my life, allows me to understand why I have limited possessions and why, with those limited possessions, I have more peace. I have more mental space. I have more mental clarity. I have breathing room and breathing space, and I can then apply more of my energy, effort, action towards the things that I value and towards the things that matter to me. So when I posted that video on help me pay off my student debt, what I was doing there was that I was harnessing the power of community support. I was harnessing the power of community support. I was not at all being non-integrous. I was not at all being deceitful. I was not at all being desperate. I was not at all being shameful. I was not at all being sad. I was not at all being pathetic. I was actually saying, hey, audience, how are you? Thank you so much for joining my journey. If you have the willingness, if you have the opportunity, if you have the kindness and the consideration and the generosity to help relieve me of the student debt burden, which I fully know I took on by myself. I fully know I went into art school being depressed and suicidal in 2018, 2019, when I saw that me following that numeric business path into Unilever, into Brighton wasn't working. I was not in touch with my inner authentic self. That's why I was chronically depressed, that I was chronically suicidal. I was drinking all the time. I was hating my life. I was really low self-worth, low self-esteem, looking to escape life, thinking, why don't I kill myself? I don't mean anything. I don't have any value. I don't have any worth. I needed to heal from that. I recognized that the opportunity to heal for myself was to reflect on my childhood self who was creative, who loved drawing. And with that, I needed to embrace that. I needed to embrace that. Here I saw an opportunity to get into art school, to accelerate the trajectory of the development of that part, which I abandoned from the age of that I was 6 or 7 years old up until the age of 24, which is about 18 years. I abandoned it for 18 years, and I knew that within 2 years, I could reclaim that 18 years of growth. Within 2 years, I could reclaim that 18 years of growth, and I could take a student loan to do that, which, by the way, I paid off that student loan with the help of my mom. It was 110 or 120,000 rand student loan. I paid it off by myself with the help of my mom. And but the second year, I took on debt. And so this 125,000 that you're seeing me do a fundraising campaign for in the second year, it's for the tuition, it's for the accommodation that I spent in that second year that honestly saved my life. It saved my life. It gave me 18 years of growth in 2 years, and I'm so glad and grateful for that. If you have the willingness, is what I was saying. If you have the opportunity, if you have the kindness, if you have the consideration, please consider supporting my student debt fundraising campaign. I'm seeking 1,000 donors to contribute just 150 Rand each. And if you're one of those 1,000 donors and you can contribute just 150 Rand each, I'm so glad and grateful for anything that you can provide. Please click the link down below and help support that campaign. But what I was not expecting was for the people that don't have the willingness, the people that don't have the contribution, the people that don't have the budget and don't even have the kindness and generosity to be criticizing the campaign. Those people that are saying there are so many students out there in the same situation, but you didn't help any of them. You didn't contribute to any of them. You think others are more deserving than me, but you didn't help them either. That means all you have to contribute is your hatred. All you have to contribute is your complaining. All you have to contribute is your disdain. All you have to do by spending your energy and attitude is to drag other people down who are making bold and significant moves in their life. It is not really about who is deserving and who is not deserving. It comes down to you sitting there and thinking, I never was able to do this. I went throughout my life feeling alone. I went throughout my life believing that I needed to do it all on my own. This person is asking the help of people. I'm triggered by this person asking the help of people because it's actually triggering me because I never had the courage and the boldness to do this. I must drag them down and I must put mean and nasty comments in there talking about getting a job, speculating. You don't know what I'm doing with my life, firstly. You don't know what applications I'm sending. You think that I'm wasting my time on TikTok. You don't understand the significance of growing a community, growing an audience. You don't understand any of those things. You don't understand that content creation is an avenue of income. You don't understand marketing. You don't understand awareness. You don't understand reach. You don't understand any of those things. You don't understand conversion, influence, community. You don't understand any of those things. You think you have an idea of what a job is, as the job is sitting at a desk, just like those people 100 years ago who thought that a job was working in a factory, and when information work came by, they were shocked and stunned that there was a new avenue that humanity was moving into. So when I see those type of people, the poor mindsets, the desperate mindsets, the scarcity mindsets, the struggling mindsets, the battling mindsets, when I see those type of people, it really made me feel sad to see that, you know what, I was one of those people. I was one of those people that had the what about me attitude. You know, as someone who grew up poor, they teach you the what about me attitude. When you see someone thriving and prospering in their life, you have the attitude of what about me? But the what about me attitude, it never really allows you to progress in your life. It never really allows you to take action. It just keeps you stuck and stagnant in your complacency, not moving, just complaining, venting, angry and furious at the people that are making moves and thinking that you can't do it for yourself. But what you really don't recognize is that the mental obstacle is holding you back, and you need to overcome that mental obstacle merely by taking a bold and progressive move by going after what you want. So when I take the bold and courageous move to ask for what I want, ask for the help of strangers, hey, strangers, help relieve me of this burden. And I tell you my story and I tell you what I've done, and I'm bold and courageous and I'm vulnerable with my story, and I'm not at all begging and I'm not at all, you know, being shameful or non-integrous or deceitful, any of those things. I'm being truthful. I'm being honest with you. I'm telling you what I experienced. I'm telling you how this this I'm telling you how art school changed my life. I'm telling you how I was served by the lawyers. I'm telling you what can happen. I'm telling you the minimum that I need, and I'm telling you what's going to happen with this money. I'm telling you where it's going. I'm putting it all out there with transparency, honesty. I even put screenshots of the summons. I put screenshots of the debtors report. I put screenshots of the settlement amount. I put, all of these things for you to see clearly and transparently what's happening with this campaign. There are still people that will be hating, but let me not, as I have continued to do, not give a fuck about those people, because there will be too many people that will be against you. I've started to see that even the great spiritual masters in their pure, noble, and honest work will have opposition, will have criticizers, and will face critiques, and will even face people that are trying to hurt them. I'm not putting myself on that level yet, but I'm saying that any type of cause will face opposition, but that opposition should never really hold a person back. There might be some type of opposition in which you might need to reflect on, am I doing something wrong here? And I did take that moment to reflect, am I doing something wrong? I'm not. I need to stay steadfast and really like in alignment with my vision. Stay steadfast, hold on to the vision, pursue the campaign, pour effort and energy, talk about it, contribute towards it, spread the word, allow people to contribute. Tell, I need a minimum of 1,000 donors to contribute, a minimum of just 150 each to help me achieve this goal, to help me pay off this debt, to help me achieve my freedom and to reclaim my future. And that's what I've done. So if you're one of those people that can help contribute to my campaign, I'd really appreciate that. Click the link down below and help support my campaign and help me pay off my student debt. I've adjusted spaces because the sun was a bit glaring on the other side and it was a bit hot. But I think this is a comfortable position. Now that we're reaching the end of the podcast, I think it's important for me to summarize what I've kind of learned over the past week. And from what I've seen of that, getting that rejection call today, it was not at all painful. It was not at all sad. It was not at all disappointing, because when you receive as many rejections as you have, it's more a testament of the number of opportunities that you've actually grabbed or have reached for in your life. And you know that with each opportunity, there is a success rate. So, for instance, if you apply for 1,000 opportunities, perhaps you'll get a call from 500, perhaps you'll get a round one interview from 100, perhaps you'll get a round two interview from 20, and perhaps you'll get a round three interview from 5. So you can see that the level of progression has a diminishing kind of number as you go on. And so I think that I'm so glad and grateful that I even got that opportunity to interview at that top company for that role. And if I truly did need to reflect, I would be able to reflect on why wasn't that role ideal for me? Why wasn't that team ideal for me? Why wasn't that company ideal for me? Those are all things I would be able to reflect on. And at the same time, getting that response, when I sent that email to the HR recruiter, one thing that she told me was that she spoke to the hiring manager, and that she mentioned that she had bad news. And I thought to myself immediately that, you know what, I don't really consider that bad news. I thought to that in my mind, I don't consider it bad news. I actually consider it like good news to tell me that I'm not right for you. Thank you for telling me that I'm not the one for you. I think the only annoyance is that I was not going to receive a call or an email if I didn't reach out. And that's what I was kind of also getting from this HR recruiter, that the woman who interviewed me was not going to respond to she did not respond to my email that I sent on Monday, the hiring manager for this role. And she was not even going to tell me that I was application rejected either. So it did take my initiative to find out that they were going with other candidates. And I also did ask, are there other roles in that team or in that organization around analysis that I could put this application for? And she said not in her space, so I must look out for roles. You know what? I'm not going to be doing that. Thanks so much, company. I'm just going to be moving on with my life. And as I mentioned, that have a plan A, but also have an A1 and A2. So this plan A didn't necessarily work out. And so the A1 told me that if this plan A didn't work out, then the A1 meant that the applications would no longer be in Cape Town, they would be in Joburg. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward. And in addition to that, to continue to invest in TikTok content creation, I'm going to be reaching 6,000 followers today, perhaps may or have already done so, or maybe doing so by the end of today. So I can see now this dual balance of high income, high value skills being able to be offered in a corporate environment, perhaps in marketing analysis, operations, and so on, now in Joburg, and also TikTok content creation, being a significant, influential, positive, meaningful person on social media, but also in real life, perhaps also making that full time, and then achieving financial freedom, income, opportunity, access, adventure, and all of those things. So now I see the parts moving forward. In addition to that, linking from TikTok, seeing last week that me posting my student debt fundraising campaign got a lot of scarcity mindset and poverty mindset people triggered, that I was harnessing the impact of community to help pay off my student debt. And it did get me reflecting on whether the campaign had a non integrous nature to it. But then I realized that everything is truthful, everything is transparent. You know about my journey. You know, I went to art school. You know, I suffered from depression and suicide. You know, art school saved me by bringing me in touch with my authenticity. You know, I abandoned my authenticity and my creative side for 18 years. You know that in 2 years of art school, I regained all of that. I healed from the chronic depression, chronic suicidal tendencies. I worked on my self development. I worked on my self esteem, my self image, and all of those things. I became a healthy, whole, functioning person. And yes, I did take a student loan for year one, paid that off over 4 years successfully with the help of my mom. The year two student debt is outstanding. They have been serving me by UCT lawyers. I did become unemployed in May of 2024. I was actually making payments towards that debt. I was not able to make payments from then until now. I did get served in October. I am seeking fundraising. I am seeking the impact of community. I am seeking 1,000 donors to pay just 150 Rand each to contribute to my campaign, to help with their kindness and generosity, to provide that kindness and generosity, to open their wallet, to open their budget, to help relieve me of this burden, to help me pay off this debt, achieve my freedom, and reclaim my future. I am doing that. I'm doing that through fundraising. So if you want to help contribute to my campaign, click the link down below and be one of those 1,000 donors to contribute just 150 Rand each and help me to pay off this debt and reclaim my future. I'm very much glad and grateful for any contribution that you can provide. And thank you so much for those donors that have provided before and that have not had spiteful attitude, mean attitude, vindictive attitude, nasty attitude. There are people that are open to contributing immediately, no questions asked. And on TikTok, I think unfortunately from the McDonald's days, there were too many people that are uh, battling, struggling, all of these things, that don't have the budget, but not only do they not have the budget, don't have the kindness either, don't have the generosity either, don't have the willingness either, went throughout all their life suffering, struggling on their own, feel like everybody needs to do it on their own as well. Sorry, I'm not like that anymore. I now recognize that it is possible to get things done with the help and support of others. And there are, as much as there are people that don't have generosity and kindness, there are people that have an abundance of generosity, abundance of kindness, abundance of wealth, success, prosperity, and are willing to contribute, no questions asked. So if you're one of those people and you're willing to contribute, click the link down below and contribute to my student debt fundraising campaign. And I think from that, I take that going forward, as I continue to develop and influence, grow my community, grow my audience on TikTok, but also in real life, there will be opposition. There will be criticism. There will be people that are naysayers. There will be people that say hateful, mean things, but I'm too fast with the block button. And don't be one of those people. I saw recently that somebody that I blocked was actually like complimenting me in the DM a couple weeks before I blocked them, before they posted nasty comments on one of my videos. Don't be one of those people that thinks that they are close to me, that can say whatever the fuck they want to, and you feel like a wrong sense of closeness, too much vulnerability to say whatever shit you want in my comments, and then you get blocked, and then you don't get to watch any of the videos anymore. Don't be one of those people. Think carefully. Don't be one of those people that say no hate, genuine advice, but then you say the stupid fucked up thing that nobody asked for. Don't be one of those people. I'm too fast with the block button. If you are terrible, I'll block you and then you miss out. So don't be one of those people. In addition to that, I think the most important thing that I'm taking from this is that I need to continue to be myself, and I need to continue to post what is true and authentic to my journey without giving a fuck about what people think, because they're not managing my social media platform. They're not living my life, especially those that are not buying what I'm selling, not contributing to my journey, not contributing to my campaign. They are not contributing by purchasing my book or purchasing my art or following my podcast or liking or commenting or sharing my videos. They don't need my attention, and they won't get it. But if you're one of those loyal and dedicated subscribers that you are sharing, you are liking, you are contributing, you are supporting, you are helping, you are there, with whatever you can do, I'm so glad and grateful that you have done what you have, and thank you so much for being one of those people. I'm grateful for your support. And yeah, that's essentially what's been going on for me this week. I'll be moving out of my Kenilworth dungeon by the end of February. Um, I'm accessing support for my student debt fundraising campaign. You can be one of 1,000 donors to contribute just 150 Rand and help me pay off my student debt. I still have my art store going. I still post art on there. You can purchase physical prints or digital prints. You can buy my book Solo Journeys for just 50 Rand. And that will help you break out of the routine and monotonous nature of your life by introducing you to the art of the solo journey, which involves spontaneity, wonder, risk, and freedom to take bold and courageous risks in your life. So get my book. There are multiple ways of supporting what I'm doing, and if you're not one of those people that feels that you want to contribute to my fundraising campaign, you can buy something from me. You can get value out of it in that way. If you're contributing to my campaign, what you're doing is that you're helping relieve that burden, but you're also investing in me as a person and investing in my future, fully knowing that you may not know that much about me except for what you see on the social media. And for some people, that is enough and that is good. So going forward, I see that part of the risk of putting myself out there is attention, is getting eyes, is getting visibility, is getting awareness, is getting reach, and all of those things. And there will be a percentage of people that don't support. There will be a percentage of people that don't contribute. There will be a percentage of people that hate and unload their disdain and negativity. But there's a percentage of people that do support, that do share, that do like, that do have contribution, that do have abundance, wealth, prosperity. They do buy what I'm selling. They do contribute to my journey. They do share in value, and they do contribute in various other ways, which I'm truly grateful for. So I'm glad so far for how far I've come, and I'm also glad to be able to have developed that level of imperturbability or unable to be shakenness that comes from the meditation. Remember, I posted a post on TikTok yesterday how I meditated for 20,000 minutes in 2024. And one of the things I mentioned on there was that meditation became so integral to my journey that I even chose where to live based on how it would facilitate my spiritual development and spiritual awareness. And I've also seen now that meditation is now facilitating for me imperturbability or unable to be shaken, because I've now started to learn and started to also see and understand that the events of physical reality are always changing. They're always in growth. They're always in development. They're always in flux. And we never really have certainty or about that level of events. We choose to believe we have certainty. We choose to believe we have control over those events, but we never do. So I should never be shaken about any of the events of physical reality. Rather, I should be like a surfer. The wave, I see it, no matter small wave, big wave, I must be able to maneuver myself, and I must be able to flow with grace and poise with life and with its events. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be flowing with life. I'll be flowing with life, and I'll be thriving and flourishing as I continue to do so, making the most of the cards that I am dealt, being resourceful, making bold and courageous moves, asking for what I want, you know, venturing into new territory, trying something new, trying something different, learning about what works, learning about what doesn't work, trying more of what works, trying less of what doesn't work, and continuing to iterate and move forward more and more in the ways that progress my life, that progress the unfolding, that progress me becoming more of who I am meant to be, the more that progress my impact in the world, that progress my influence in the world, that progress my positive, meaningful impact and my journey, and continue to contribute not just to my unfolding and my development, but also the impact that I can have in the lives of others. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today and for this week. Thanks so much for watching my podcast. This is episode 5 of season 2 of Deep Topics with Shaun. If you like what you're hearing and you'd want to hear more, please consider subscribing to my podcast on YouTube or on Spotify, wherever you're watching or listening to this. Like the video or the podcast on any of the platforms. If you resonate with anything that I've shared, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this episode. Did you agree or did you disagree with anything that I've shared? And if you want to contribute to my student debt fundraising campaign, if you want to be one of 1,000 people to contribute just 150 and to help me pay off my debt, achieve my freedom, and reclaim my future, click the link down below and contribute to my student debt fundraising campaign. Or if you want to contribute to my journey in any other way, that whether that's following me on TikTok, on Instagram, following my podcast or my YouTube channel, or purchasing my book Solo Journeys, or purchasing my art, whether that's physical drawings or digital prints, the links are all down below. I appreciate every one of you, every type of effort, contribution that you have the opportunity to do so, even if that is liking, sharing, and commenting on my videos. I'm very much glad and grateful for that contribution that you can share. Thanks so much for watching this week's podcast, and I hope to see you again next week. And I want to wish you a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Take care. This is Shaun. Bye, everyone.